The Chapman community reacts to the manhunt for the LAPD fugitive Christopher Dorner. We've got the details.
And police officers turn out by the thousands to remember one of Dorner's victims, Riverside policeman Michael Crain.
Good morning and welcome to Chapman News. I'm Adrina, Movsesian.
And I'm Gardner, Royce. It's been a long and emotional week as the Christopher Dorner manhunt comes to an end. Wes Rappaport takes us through the 11 days few people in California will ever forget. Wes, you've been covering this since the beginning. Can you take us through what happened?
Well, Guardian Adrina, a very complicated story, but I'll try and break down the timeline of events here that took place. We're going to start Sunday, February 3rd. Former LAPD cop Christopher Dorner kills Irvine residents Monica Kwan and Keith Lawrence. Kwan is the CSU Fullerton assistant basketball coach, Lawrence a security officer at USC. Kwan also happens to be the daughter of Randy Kwan, who represented Dorner in his LAPD termination case back in 2009. We move now to Monday, February 4th. Some items belonging to Dorner were found in National City, and then jumping to Wednesday, and those items stemming from the Irvine double homicide. Then jumping to Wednesday, February 6th, LAPD announcing Dorner as the suspect in that Irvine double murder. Investigators then releasing details of his manifesto. He was very harsh on cops in this manifesto, saying that he will likely not get out of the situation alive. Then Thursday morning, February 7th, Dorner kills and shoots and kills Riverside police officer Michael Crain, injuring another up in Corona. There were traces of him in San Diego that led nowhere. But police did find a truck linked to Dorner burned in Big Bear that you just saw. That was midday Thursday. Then moving to Friday, February 8th, police releasing these photos of Dorner taken January 28th at an Orange County hotel. Then the weekend, fairly quiet. Nothing doing that over the weekend. No new developments in the story. But then Sunday, February 10th, LAPD offering a $1 million reward for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of Dorner. And Monday, February 11th, this story goes international. Police raiding a Tijuana hotel looking for Dorner but find nothing. Then Tuesday, February 12th, a very big day in this story, a standoff between police and Dorner off Highway 38 near Big Bear. San Bernardino County Sheriff Detective Jeremiah McKay is slain, one more injured in that firefight as well. Dorner, here's a breakdown of the events here. Dorner breaks into a cabin, ties up the couple from that cabin, steals their car, crashes it, and then breaks into another cabin. And police shoot tear gas into that cabin. It catches fire, and road closures last throughout the day. Then Wednesday, February 13th, the coroner's office recovers human remains from the rubble and the wreckage in that fire, the burned down cabin, as well as a funeral service taking place for Michael Crain. Then we head over to Thursday, February 14th, that's yesterday. Police finally identify the body as Dorner and confirm that Christopher Dorner is dead. And now that you're caught up on all of that and we brought you up to speed, we turn the attention now to the Chapman campus. Chapman Public Safety Chief Randy Burba talked to Chapman News about how the campus and surrounding communities have reacted to the search for the wanted gunman.
I did hear from one parent that kind of asked, what we were doing, if there should be concerned, and if we were doing anything to kind of notify the campus. And I told him that the news media has done a pretty good job of notifying people of what to do. But I told her that, if you read the manifesto and you kind of followed what was going on, the people that were really at danger were law enforcement. I did share it with my officers and shared the blue alert, and we kind of had a briefing about it. I had a briefing with Captain Cahill from Orange PD, and we had a discussion about kind of what they were doing and what they suggested our officers do to be safe.
Some students taking extra security precautions in response to the Dorner search, while others feel less affected.
A big thing for me is just to make sure that something as simple as like locking my doors at home, making sure that my family's safe, being in constant contact with them. It's really nice with, cell phones and Facebook and Twitter and whatever to make sure that they're okay.
I didn't really feel that endangered by it, but I guess maybe it's just because I feel like Orange is a really safe community, so it's just kind of like you don't have that perspective.
Coverage and additional updates as they become available, head on over to chapmannews.tv or the Chapman News Facebook and Twitter pages. And Gardy, Adrina, another key note to how this whole thing has taken place is the surrounding areas have been affected. Schools across the Southland locked down as police march through cities and towns throughout all across Southern California, but things definitely expected to settle down from here.
Wow. Thanks, Wes. It's been quite a long 2 weeks. Friends, family, and thousands of law enforcement officers said their final farewell to Riverside officer Michael Crain this Wednesday morning at Grove Community Church. Daniela Pardo tells us more.
And I knew that I would have support no matter what. But I really did not realize the sheer scale of this and how many people are touched by his life.
Regina Crain said her final goodbye to her beloved husband, Michael Crain, who was shot and killed in an ambush last Thursday morning.
Police believe it was Christopher Dorner who killed Officer Crain.
He always was quick with a joke with people.
Officer Brian Smith says his friend Mike would want to be remembered as a kind and caring person. Michael Crain was an 11-year-old veteran officer in the Riverside Police Department and a devoted father of 2 young kids. Close to 8,000 people are expected to attend Michael Crain's funeral today. This procession you see behind me has been going on for about 20 minutes, and it's not just members of the Riverside Police Department, but it's members of all law enforcement in surrounding cities throughout Southern California. Crain was a former Marine and had worked as a SWAT team member, firearms instructor, and his very favorite was being a field training officer.
This is a calling for us who get into this business. He would want to be remembered for being a professional law enforcement officer, a professional soldier, and just a credit to his community.
Members of the Riverside community gathered to honor Officer Crain in his final tribute outside of Grove Community Church.
They need strength to get through this. It's a very difficult time for the whole family, so I pray that God's with them and gives them the strength to get through this.
The massive outpouring support for Michael Crain's family wasn't shocking to some members of law enforcement.
It's a brotherhood from all ends of the nation. People come to pay respect to any law enforcement officer who loses his life in the line of duty.
Reporting from Riverside, California, Daniela Pardo, Chapman News.
And among the thousands of people who attended Michael Crain's funeral was Governor Jerry Brown. The fallen officer is now at rest at the Riverside National Cemetery.
As the Dorner manhunt comes to a close, some wounds from the chase are still open. April Lynn Newman was on the streets of Torrance and has our story.
Over the past few days, more than 1,000 tips have poured into police stations across the state as the manhunt for fugitive gunman and ex-cop Christopher Dorner was underway. Last Thursday, a truck driven by 2 women was shot down. A resident who heard bullets hitting his front door dialed 911. He was told the cops were already there. Although the shooting occurred in Torrance, it was not the Torrance police that were involved. The LAPD cops on the street acted quickly, which led to the injury of the 2 women in the truck and the many bullet holes found around the neighborhood.
Concerning, considering they were going after the wrong target.
Well, obviously you're fearful and you're worried and you're looking out, but at the same time you can't have your hand on the trigger ready to go. You keep the safety on and make the situation.
Bullets in the tailgate, there's bullets in the windshield, there's bullets in some of the homes. I think they use excessive force there.
The fact that it sort of happened the way it did obviously kind of shakes my faith a little bit.
A little disturbing, but I can understand why the police opened fire.
It's more like our predatory response
was one bad call.
It was on this street that LAPD officers mistakenly opened fire at 2 newspaper carriers. Turns out they were guarding an officer who was on Dorner's manifesto hit list when a radio call came through that a truck with a description similar to Dorner's was spotted in the area. As the truck came down the street, it swerved from side to side with its headlights turned off. The cops reacted quickly and opened fire. Reporting from Torrance, I'm April Lynn Newman, Chapman News.
LAPD Chief Charlie Beck met with a woman in her Torrance home this past Saturday to apologize for the incident. A new truck has been donated to the newspaper carriers. And coming up, for the first time in 600 years, the Pope has resigned.
Sabrina Walker has the scoop on why this Pope is leaving early.
Right now, you're looking live outside our studio here in Old Town Orange. Lots of sunshine across the Southland. I'll tell you how long this gorgeous weather is going to stick around. Stay with us.
Golfers come together to honor veterans. Next in sports.
Nice. No. Come on. Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Back to Chapman News, I'm Adrina Movsesian.
And I'm Gardner Royce.
Now let's turn to the weather.
Warm temperatures out there this morning, Maddie. What can we look forward to?
Hey guys, you can look forward to a ton of sunshine. Today's weather is brought to you by the Masan Family Beach Club, where lots of students are going to be spending their time today, as opposed to last week when students were making snow angels on Wilson Field. And today we're going to have experienced some wind about 10 to 15 miles per hour as we head through the weekend. Let's take a look at those current Southern California temperatures. 62 in Los Angeles, 60 in San Diego, and a little cooler in Bakersfield, 57 degrees. Now let's take a wider look at our nation. Colder temperatures are across most of the United States. We have New York in 48, Boston 47, and some snowy weather in Washington at 59 degrees. Now let's take a look at your 5-day forecast. On Friday, we're going to have nice weather today, high of 80 degrees as we move into the weekend. Partly cloudy, high 77, low 49, and Sunday is going to be warm again, high at 69 and low in 47. Tuesday, some expected rain as we move towards the work week, a 30% chance. And with this sunny weather upon us, you may want to hit the beach this weekend. Waves will be waist high, about 3 feet tall. Not the best surf conditions, but if you got the need for some swells, try North Huntington Beach for the larger waves. Most spots there will run thigh high with light offshore winds. So, Gardy, Adrina, it's definitely shorts weather out there. Adrina, you're a little closer. What has Gardy got under that desk today?
Looks like he's all ready to go to the pool.
Thanks, Maddie. Hopefully I'll try to get down to Newport to go surfing. The Pope startled the world when he posted on Twitter this December, and on Monday he shocked the world again after announcing his resignation. Sabrina Walker reports.
Pope Benedict XVI made headlines this week when he became the first pope in 6 centuries to step down from his position of leading 1 billion Catholics across the globe. At 85 years old, the Pope claimed his weakening health to be the major factor in his decision to step down. I'm here outside the Fish Interfaith Center at Chapman University, where Catholic students have just wrapped up Ash Wednesday services. I'm hoping to get a few perspectives from some of the local students and see what they think about Pope Benedict resigning.
It was a shock, definitely, and the mood at church, I think, today was a little bit more somber, and I don't know, I think it's definitely a different feeling.
Well, Ash Wednesday is a pretty special day, so for the most part, I think people enjoy going to Ash Wednesday Mass, but it was a little bit sad to know that our Pope is leaving.
It has been confirmed that the Pope ordered work to begin last August renovating an old convent building where he will live after his resignation.
We're at a point now where we need to look for a new Pope that is willing to take on these issues head on and definitely really, appeal to the beliefs and faith of the Catholic Church.
The Pope is set to resign on February 28th. Upon his resignation, over 100 cardinals will meet for a secret ritual which ends by vote and is expected to kick off sometime in March. This is Sabrina Walker reporting for Chapman News.
Starting March 20th, you can start looking for the smoke above the Vatican to see if a new pope has been appointed.
Valentine's Day is not always a happy ending for everybody, especially for one Olympic sprinter. Paraplegic athlete Oscar Pistorius was charged yesterday with the murder of his girlfriend at their home in South Africa. The national athlete known as a Blade Runner for his high-tech prosthetic legs is now in police custody after suspected of shooting his model girlfriend Riva Steenkamp in the head multiple times. The couple had been dating for 2 months, and according to his coaches and family, Pistorius showed no signs of violent activity. Police say Pistorius may have mistaken Steenkamp for a burglar, causing the accident. A 9mm pistol was found at the scene, and Pistorius is expected to appear in court today.
A panel of nuclear regulators met with 1,000 people Tuesday night in Capistrano Beach about the possible reopening at one of 2 idled reactors at the San Onofre nuclear plant. Amongst many of the concerns voiced, Mayor Bob Filner of San Diego stated that this has the potential to threaten the safety of 8.2 million Southern California residents within a 50-mile radius. The reactors have been shut down for over a year due to wear among the tubes in the steam generators because of design flaws. The NRC was hoping to restart as soon as late April, but ran into complications last week with 2 U.S. lawmakers about the design flaws.
Police arrested a man Tuesday on suspicion of murder after a woman's body was found in his Anaheim motel room. Officers arrived around 1:45 p.m. after receiving complaints from the motel that a couple was supposed to check out at 11 a.m. Police found a man with a, quote, significant abdominal injury. They took him to a hospital where he is under guard until he is healthy enough to be booked. Police say the incident may be related to domestic violence.
A 40-year-old Buena Park resident is in custody after hitting and killing 3 women with his car late Saturday night. Anthony Luis Sanchez was charged with 3 felony counts of vehicular manslaughter and 2 counts of driving under the influence. Sanchez had a .17 blood alcohol level at the time of the crash and, according to eyewitnesses, did not slow down as he approached the 3 pedestrians. Carmen Mendoza, her daughter Shayla Mendoza, and niece Stephanie Henriquez were making their way back from a baby shower. If convicted, Sanchez faces a maximum of 12 years and 8 months in state prison.
It was an engagement stunt that brought the 10 freeway to a standstill, went viral on YouTube, and could have sent a newly engaged couple to jail. But so far, they are free. According to Paige Hernandez, the bride-to-be, police have not contacted her or Martinez, who proposed to Hernandez on January 27th. Police were angry after learning that Martinez brought traffic to a halt to pop the question. Martinez, riding in a motorcycle bike ride with 400 other bikers, stopped on the 10 freeway near West Covina, ignited a pink smoke bomb, and got down on one knee. California Highway Patrol said he can't stress how dangerous that is and is glad that no one got hurt. Although the couple does not know if they will be contacted regarding the incident, they are planning for a wedding in about 1 year.
Danger and excitement seem to follow him wherever he goes. Legendary foreign correspondent and Orange County local David Henley has written a new book illustrating his vast career, spanning 3 presidential administrations, including a rise to assistant press secretary to President Nixon. He was there when the Berlin Wall went up, and he was there when it fell down. He even rescued 2 young children, smuggling them to the other side of the wall in the trunk of his car. And yet he's still globetrotting, and last April he got in a little scuffle with a pack of wild dogs in American Samoa. Henley, now in his 70s, is still traveling. He says one thing's for sure, he's not going to sit at home like an old man. Coming up next, we have Emily Valla with all the latest in sports news.
Men's lacrosse plays their first ever SCIAC game. We have the full recap next. Plus,
saying it's raining cats and dogs, but golf clubs falling from the sky? I'll explain ahead on Chapman News.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're gonna be hanging out a little bit more.
Up to 40% of businesses never recover after experiencing a major disaster. Make a plan at ready.gov/business.
Welcome back to Chapman News. I'm Adrina Movsesian.
And I'm Gardner Royce. Thanks so much for staying with us.
It's time for the best campus sports show.
Emily, Valla in the house with the latest from the Northern Trust Open.
That's right, day 2 today, but we begin at the gridiron. The Chapman football team began spring practice Monday, looking to build on last season's success after going 6-3 in their first season in the SCIAC. The offense returns 8 starters, including Jeremiah McKibbins, the star running back, who was first-team All-SCIAC and All-West Region for D3. On the D, the Panthers look to seniors Wade Minshew, a linebacker, and safety Josh Irvin. Last season, the Panthers finished second in the SCIAC for total defense. Chapman women's lacrosse made their NCAA D3 debut this week. The Panthers hosted Claremont Mudscripts on Wednesday night, their first ever SCIAC home game. Chapman took an early 5-1 lead, but the Athenas answered back with a 5-goal run to make it 9-7 at the half. In the final 2 minutes, Claremont senior Maddie Shove tied it up at 13. The Panthers snagged the win in double overtime, 15-14. And looking ahead to next week, women's lacrosse back in action, looking for their 3rd win at home at Wilson Field on Saturday, hosting Redlands at 7 p.m. Also on Saturday, baseball begins conference play with a doubleheader. Occidental visits Chapman at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. SCIAC swimming and diving championships are Sunday through Wednesday at Splash La Mirada. Several Panthers looking for titles, including last year's D3 swimmer of the meet, Julie Case. And Tuesday, men's basketball wraps up their season, hosting Cal Lutheran at 7 p.m. Panthers graduating 3 seniors, come on out for senior night. And the Northern Trust Open returns to Riviera Country Club this week. A few of the pros came out to salute injured servicemen. Wes Rappaport brings this report about Operation Game On.
As the Northern Trust Open begins at Riviera, golfers gave veterans a very special treat. Tailor-made parachuted custom driver heads from the air with the name of a veteran on the front for Troop Appreciation Day. The veterans are a part of Operation Game On, a nonprofit organization based in San Diego County that uses golf to rehabilitate soldiers coming back from active duty.
Here we are today, over 200 troops have gone through our program, and these guys have that can-do, will-do attitude.
Top players turning out for the event, Sergio Garcia, Dustin Johnson, Retief Goosen, among the pros who came to LA early.
Any possibility we have of helping, it's great, and obviously TaylorMade coming out with these wonderful ideas, it's amazing, and to be a part of it, it's an honor.
I'm very lucky. I play golf for a living. So these guys, who go out and fight for our country and fight for our freedom, it's just great to come out here and give back and meet these guys and hit a couple of golf balls with them and see what they're all about. And I think it's just awesome.
For these veterans, a day to remember for many years to come.
They've changed a lot of guys' lives that have been changed for the worse. So they're doing great things.
2 days later, Johnson and the others chasing the $1 million purse furthest from anyone's mind on this day. In West LA, Wes Rappaport, Chapman News.
Thanks, Wes. And looking at the Northern Trust leaderboard, Matt Kutcher leads round 1, but at latest update, Sangmoon Bay heads the pack at 9 under. Sergio Garcia in a 3-way tie for second with Kutcher and John Merrick at 7 under. It's been a tale of one city and 2 different stories on the court at Staples Center. The Clippers have surged as LA's team, while the Lakers implode. Last night they met, last game before the All-Star break. Kobe Bryant leading the Lakers, Blake Griffin for the Clips. A pair of All-Star game starters. Kobe Bryant leading in the first, This one is all Clippers. Blake Griffin knocked down that J, and here he is for a long two. Clippers opened the game on a 15-0 run. Then later, still all Griffin, he goes soaring over Staples Center and throws down the alley-oop. Let's take another look at this. This is just beautiful. Griffin had 22 points on the night. Later in the third, Kobe looking to answer back for the Lakers, and he's going to throw one down right here. And let's look at that one again. Kobe doing all he could here, just making some moves, and he's going to have 20 points, team high on the night. Then later, Chris Paul for the Clippers knocks down a three right here. He'd add 24 for the Clippers, and they are just too much for the Lakers on this night. They'll win 125-101. To hockey now, where this side of Chicago, there's no team playing better than the Tenants of the Honda Center. Here's Michelle Farhang with this week's Ducks Minute.
The Anaheim Ducks are very hot this season, despite some analyst predictions that they wouldn't make it into playoffs this year. And their quick start to the season continued Tuesday night after beating the Chicago Blackhawks in a shootout. The Ducks scored twice in regulation, one from Getzlaf, to extend the game into overtime, where they eventually beat the Blackhawks in the shootout. The Ducks play again tonight at 4:30 against the Red Wings. This is Ducks Minute. I'm Michelle Farhang reporting for Chapman News.
Thanks, Michelle. And before we let you go, a somber note in LA. Jerry Buss, the father of Showtime and Lakers owner, was hospitalized yesterday and reportedly has cancer. We'll keep you posted about his condition at chapmannews.tv. Gardy, I know you're a Lakers fan. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's been a long season, but hopefully after the All-Star break, Kobe can get them playing in playoff potential.
All right, and that about does it for the Best Campus Sports Show. Lots of Chapman action this weekend. Adrina, you going to see any?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the women's lacrosse game. Should be really exciting. And coming up, we have the latest for you in entertainment news.
Coming up in entertainment, Chapman has been putting its mark on Hollywood with a few awards. Plus, I've got a Grammys recap for you when we return.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous.
Welcome back to Chapman News. I'm Adrina Movsesian.
And I'm Gardner Royce. Thanks for tuning in this morning.
Now, Gardner, I know you've been waiting all week to hear the latest in entertainment news.
Well, as much as it pains me to give this one up, our own Jessica Deutchman has the latest.
Thanks, guys. That's right. I've got quite a bit of entertainment for you, most of it regarding Chapman. If you liked Pitch Perfect, this weekend, The Real Thing is coming to Southern California. Zoe Loza has more.
Here is the 2013 ICCA of Chapman Soundcheck.
After the release of last year's hit movie Pitch Perfect, a cappella has become more popular than ever. All three of Chapman's a cappella groups will be performing at the ICCA Regional Quarterfinals in Los Angeles this Saturday. I caught up with the members of Chapman's Soundcheck after their preview show. Chapman's Soundcheck came out Wednesday night to perform their ICCA set for a packed room.
ICCA is the International Collegiate Competition of a cappella. So groups from all over the country and different parts of the world compete in their regional divisions, and then they kind of move eventually to nationals. And so, getting nationals is, the top prize.
And just like Pitch Perfect, these performers will come out in costume to perform 3 songs for a total of a 12-minute set.
I've been rehearsing 2 of the 3 songs since the beginning of the fall semester. And then the middle song, Stay, we just got halfway through interterm. So it's been a little nerve-wracking trying to get that together. But we rehearse twice a week, but since interterm, it's basically been every day, 5 days a week. For the past 2 weeks, it's been almost every day, 2 hours every night. A lot of rehearsal. We wanted to do Best Thing I Never Had because that's it's a big showstopper. It shows off Dominique, who's an amazing soloist. So we really wanted to create a cohesive set that was kind of about love lost, love gained, and just moving on.
For Chapman News, I'm Zoe Wilson.
CCAs are tomorrow at 8 p.m. at USC. Tickets are still available and are $18. Last weekend was a big one for Hollywood with the Grammys this past Sunday. But little did Chapman know that the excitement would reach us here at the university. Our own talented faculty member, Dr. Nicholas Terry, and the rest of the well-known Los Angeles Percussion Quartet were nominated for not one, but 3 Grammy Awards, honoring their latest recording, Rupaconda. Terry expressed how blessed he and his team feel to be nominated for such a prestigious award as a Grammy. And speaking of the Grammys, we have a quick recap for you on the outcome of some of the big wins at Sunday night's show. And no, folks, for once, the name inside every envelope was surprisingly not Taylor Swift. Instead, Mumford & Sons' newest hit, Babel, took home Best Album, while Gautier, featuring Kimbra, took home Best Record of the Year for their chart topper, Somebody That I Used to Know. Carrie Underwood was Queen of the Country Sunday night, winning for Best Country Solo Performance and Best Country Song. Adele, who took home the award for Best Pop Solo Performance, was interrupted on stage by a Ukrainian TV presenter, Vitaly Saduk, who now faces jail time for getting, well, a little carried away. And bringing it back home to Chapman, 5 of last year's short documentary films were honored this past weekend at the Thin Line Film Festival in Denton, Texas. These films include Wolf Mountain, There Is No Place for You Here, and 3 of last year's Community Voices films, including The Shadows, Sebastian, and Still. Directors Katie Velosin and Dan Duran took a road trip down to Texas for the event. The 2 filmmakers contributed their current successes out of school on opportunities like Community Voices here at Chapman, which the Dodd College puts on. Chapman Dance Department is holding its annual Works in Progress concert this Saturday and Sunday, February 15th through 17th, in the Performing Arts Center at 2 p.m. and 7:30, with 66 total dancers and 31 first-time choreographers. Meanwhile, Chapman's theater students are also hard at work, performing their rendition of Twelfth Night or What You Will, under the direction of Thomas Braddock, February 14th through 16th and 21st through 23rd in the Walt Mart Theater. Go online to www.chapman.edu/COPA to get your tickets for this outrageous Shakespeare comedy. In the words of Beyonce, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. And after 2 years in its 51% share relationship with NBCU, Comcast has finally decided to go all in, purchasing General Electric's stake in the company for $16.7 billion. This means Comcast will now have full control over their media conglomerate, including the NBC network, Universal Studios, Universal Pictures, MSNBC, Bravo, and the USA Network. Comcast Chief Executive Brian Roberts believes that moving forward with the buy will now allow for Comcast to create more value for its shareholders. The question NBC fans are facing now is how Comcast's level of input will affect the content of the NBC network. That wraps it up for entertainment for today. We'll have more for you next Friday. Will I see you guys at the dance concert?
I hope, Jessica. I definitely got to pick up some more moves.
And Chapman students were able to stop by the piazza this week to buy some kisses, but it's not what you think. Brogan Gage has a story.
In 1962, 6 blind adults formed the Blind Children's Learning Center. For nearly 50 years, blind, visually impaired, and deafblind children have had the opportunity to grow and learn. I'm here at the Blind Children's Learning Center in Santa Ana, California, where the children today are having a very special Valentine's Day party, helped put on by our very own Delta Gamma. Today is
Valentine's Day.
And what does Valentine's Day mean?
That means you love somebody.
Do you have a Valentine?
No.
Can I be your Valentine?
All right.
Visual impairment teacher Chris Blue talked to me about the benefits of attending this school.
Kids get to learn a lot of different foundations here. They're with other children who have visual impairments, so they're exposed to Braille at an early age, and also a lot of tactile experiences and field trips.
For the past week, Delta Gamma has been tabling in the piazza selling Hershey's Kisses for $1 to benefit the school.
Right now we're here at
KISS booth, and this is for the Blind Children's Learning Center in Santa Ana. It's a cool way to just sell some candy and get some money for our philanthropy. It goes to a great cause, and it's on Valentine's Day, so what better way to celebrate?
Happy Valentine's Day, Chapman.
In Santa Ana, Brogan Gage, Chapman News.
Thanks. And Goodyear Tire is matching Delta Gamma's proceeds from the event.
Log on to our website, chapmannews.tv, to see all of our episodes, Chapman Newsies bios, and top headlines.
And make sure you also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Chapman News, and at Twitter at Chapman News, and on YouTube at youtube.com/Chapman News.
Thanks for watching Chapman News. I'm Adrina Movsesian.
And I'm Gardner Royce. It's been a pleasure and hope to see you next week.